Hey, what's happening? My name is Tuto Maringul and welcome back to another 5 to 10 minute update about what's happening in South Africa and around the world. I got a table. I had a table. And then I realized sitting down is more comfortable than standing. It's Mzansi in 5. So let's start off with Durban, where an Airbnb owner has been suspended from the platform after a guest said he was advised to coordinate his movements in the yard with her racist dog. 28-year-old businessman Wandile Mtiani told the Mercury last week that he had been informed by the owner of the property that he'd have to let her know whenever he wanted to access the yard because she had a dog which allegedly only bites black people. That's beautiful. Not the racist dog part, but the truth. This lady is being upfront. She's saying, I don't mind black people. I let them stay in my house for money, but my dog doesn't fuck with y'all. Her relationship with her dog is so well defined that she knows the dog's political and socioeconomic opinions. It's not like she raised the dog or trained the dog. The dog is an independent thinker. According to Mtiani, when he asked her how the dog became racist, she stated that it had been rescued from a township, and she assumed that a black person had hurt the dog. And now the dog wants revenge. Of course, that's how dogs operate. They are vengeful creatures that have these sophisticated memories of orcas or elephants, thus allowing them to target a specific ethnic group based on past experiences. It's not like they have heightened senses that allow them to differentiate separate smells and sounds to identify different human beings. Nice try, Karen. So moving on to our main story, which isn't as funny or interesting as a racist dog that only attacks black people, but every now and then we have to have our vegetables. So, Minister of Higher Education and Training, and also a man who's just been told you can only have 2 scoops of chakalaka at the funeral, Blade Nzimande. It was reported by the Sunday Independent yesterday that he's been fighting tooth and nail to keep an explosive report by the Nexus Forensic Services confidential. This report details how 10 projects were able to milk close to R500 million from the National Skills Fund. These projects were funded with the hope that thousands of young people around the country would be trained and empowered. But the probe found no proof that this actually happened and that at least some of the millions were transferred into unknown bank accounts shortly after the National Skills Fund deposited the funds. In his letter to the chairperson of the Standing Committee on Public Accounts, Nzimande said he was requesting the report's confidentiality because all the people whose names are mentioned in the report have not been engaged at all while the department is finalizing its internal processes. He then added, our request for confidentiality is reasonable and justifiable in an open and democratic society like ours, and we would not want to be the ones violating people's rights to a fair trial. Cool. Yeah, okay, Minister. Quick lesson. In an open and democratic society like ours, a report on the misappropriation and use of public funds is not confidential. I don't have time to explain, but it has something to do with the words public and funds. Now, a member of parliament leaked the Nexus report anonymously to the Sunday Independent and followed that up with a statement. It is strongly believed that some of the money meant for these projects was siphoned out to fund certain political parties and politicians. I suspect that Blade is trying to protect certain individuals so that they can't sing about how these millions were used to fund political parties and campaigns. Now, these are some of the figures that allegedly went missing from the National Skills Fund. A 39.6 million rand project to train youth in KwaZulu-Natal after a company submitted an unsolicited proposal to train 115 learners on rabbit farming. Yes, because South Africa is known as the nation of rabbits. And by the way, rabbits are extremely easy to breed. You don't need to invest 39.6 million rands in breeding rabbits. They are nature's easiest prey, and their only defense against extinction is to breed, like rabbits. A study done by the House Rabbit Society, which is a real society, found that 2 intact rabbits can produce close to 4 million descendants in only 4 years. I mention this because the company had promised to build an abattoir that will process 96,000 rabbits per annum and breed about 10,500 others. But investigators found that the company had only 450 rabbits. No abattoir facility was ever built and no rabbit meat has been produced for local and export markets, as per their project proposal. An 11.6 million rand project was funded to train 300 youth on clothing, textile and footwear in Limpopo, but no evidence was obtained that students were indeed trained. 10.9 million rand of this money, though, was transferred to an unknown bank account shortly after the National Skills Fund deposited the money for the project. A 33.9 million rand project was funded also in Limpopo to train 1,025 learners on basic agricultural programs. But at the time the project was rewarded, the institution's accreditation with the African SETS had lapsed. About 9 million rand remains unaccounted for, and investigators deemed the project to be irregular, fruitless, and wasteful. I could go on for the rest of the episode going through the entire accounting of the report, or you could just read the article yourself on the Sunday Independent, which you won't, and that's fine. But my conclusive argument is that 2024 is basically next year. And in the upcoming elections, millennials are going to be the majority voters for the first time. Unfortunately, some of our grandparents and parents are still drinking the government auras, while Gen Zs are busy doing tic-tac challenges or playing Fortnite all day. So it's up to millennials to decide the direction this country goes in. Once again, I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm telling you that R500 million that was meant for skills, training, and development for you, people mostly under the age of 35, went missing. Some of it was siphoned, allegedly, to fund the political campaigns of people that are already millionaires, while you ponder how to put gas in your tank, or whether or not your child will be doing homework in candlelight for another evening because of load shedding. We have to vote. 2022 is over. We're basically a year away. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow if the electricity gods are with us. I'm gonna have some auras. It's Mzansi in 5.